Good morning, welcome to Love Answers, and today we're going to be doing some Love Answers cards. For those of you who know my channel, everything on this channel is about healing from heartbreak and turning your grief into growth. So there's lots of little tips in the videos, and we cover some heartbreak ask questions where I kind of answer questions based on my experience with heartbreak and kind of give you my tips and tools and techniques to ease the suffering. And the Love Answers cards are based on meditations through nature, so through fire, earth, air and water. So what I would suggest is just checking out the videos, because for those of you that have been to my channel before, you've heard me say this 1,000 times. So, you know, just have a browse and have a check out the videos. There is also a story section, which is short excerpts of my story, so that you can kind of get my one particular heartbreak story of, you know, how I went through heartbreak and how I kind of overcame it. And I think it was really important for me to share this, because I feel like the person I am today is a completely different person to the person who went through the heartbreak. And obviously I'm on here and I'm giving you my kind of understanding of heartbreak. And when you're in heartbreak, when someone says to you, you know, you will get over it and you'll be so grateful for this experience and you'll grow and your life will open up and you'll see so much more and you'll have so much more understanding and you will never ever feel like this forever. When someone says that to you, it's really difficult, because you almost say to them, you have no understanding of what I'm feeling, because I'm feeling like I want to die. I feel horrific. I feel sad. I feel like my whole world's gone. And why I thought it was important to share my story is because I wanted people to see that I was in that place and I was kind of in that mindset. And if I can come out of that mindset and overcome and go on to kind of expand my world, then anyone can. So I think it's really important for me to share it, and it's a very personal story, but I feel that the only way you can help others is by showing your true self. So I'm sharing my true self, and the knowledge that I gained from that experience is what I'm sharing here today. Okay, so I said I wasn't going to ramble, and I did. I said I was going to keep it short, but sometimes when you're doing these videos, you kind of go with the flow, because whatever's meant to come out kind of comes out. So let's do some love answers. So the first one. I love this photograph just because I think it just represents everything related to love. It's earth. So the power of earth is grounding. And these poppies, they're so gentle and delicate, but they have such power and vibrancy. And the green is the kind of lush renewal. And it represents, you know, what we go through when we go through heartbreak. We're taken to the ground, we're taken to our knees, and we have to refresh, renew, revitalize, and come back with new energy, new life, new strength. And I think poppy's a real representation of this, because the colour of the poppy, they're wild, you know, they grow in the wild and they grow in abundance. And when you actually see the poppy, if you look at the petals, they're very delicate, they're very sensitive. The wind blows them, but they stand very strong. And why I love this photograph is I think it totally represents where you can go and how you can grow. Sorry, just pause for a second because that's my phone. I'm waiting for a delivery, and sorry, it's gone a bit crazy. So yeah, they show how you can grow and become strong again. And I think this is a really important thing with nature. And everything that I'll be teaching on here is based around nature as your healer. And this will be in the courses as well, because nature was my healer, 100%. It was to play such a huge part in it. And I'm going to share how, when we look at nature and we work with nature and we see nature, how it can change our perception of things. So for this one, it's about, grounding yourself, coming back to your core, coming back to your center, knowing that you will renew, you will refresh, you will revitalize, and you can stand strong again, but you can also be delicate and sensitive. And I think this is something that's really important, because when you go through heartbreak, you go through different phases. And even it's the same as, if you lose someone who passes on, if you lose a pet, if a relationship ends, you go through that anger phase, you go through the tearful phase, you go through the anger, you go through the frustration, you go through the defensiveness, you go through the flipping in and out, trying to connect back to who you were, but never being able to get back there. You feel like you're never going to get back there. And then you go through growth spurts. It's a journey of life, and that's why I think it's such a significant and profound experience. And that anyone who does go through heartbreak, and we all go through it on different levels, the more you learn, the more open you are to understanding it, the greater your growth. And in this life path, we're on this life path, and you're here, you're now, you're in the present moment, and you want it to be the best life that you can live. We all want that, even if we say we don't. At the deepest core, we want to grow, and we want to understand, and we want to live, and we want to experience love. And I think the best way of experiencing love on the deepest level is to really go back to the core of you and who you are and what you want. And when we're going through heartbreak, we say, well, I don't want anything, I just want that person who's gone. And that's a process, and that's okay. That's absolutely okay. I've been there, I know that feeling, and that is part of the process. And I think it's about allowing yourself to go, that's okay, this is where I'm at right now. And I'm going through this, and I'm digesting, and I'm learning, and I'm analysing to gain a greater understanding. And what I hope to do with the channel is to just give you a different perspective. There's millions of other channels out there, and everyone's teaching different things. But what I would love to do is just give you a different perspective on overcoming heartbreak. And the purpose of this is just to ease the suffering. We cannot escape heartbreak, it's a fact of life, but I do believe we can ease and accelerate the suffering. And having gone through heartbreak, I absolutely 100%, if I can share what I've learned with someone and ease their suffering so that they don't live in that perpetual fear, then it's something worthy. So okay, let's go to the next one. So the next one is water and air. So this one's got both water and air in it. And I love this picture because I think it totally represents the kind of layers that we go through when we go through heartbreak. So, in the stillness is where we find the healing. But on that healing journey, we go through shadows, and there's many shadows, there's many layers here. And on that journey, we can be in the darkness, but we can see the light. We know the light's there. Innately, we all know that there's light there, and we're drawn to the light. But when we're in that darkness of heartbreak, we can see it and we know it's there, but we can't quite get there. And that's okay. It doesn't feel pleasant. but it's okay. You know, your mind has to digest what's just happened to you. It has to go through that process. Sorry, I'm just going to stop for a second because it's someone's obviously trying to get hold of me today. But I think that's something that's really important when you're focused on something and you're trying to accomplish something. Don't allow distractions to come in, because, you know, that's a perfect example on when you're trying to focus and be in the moment. You know, so many of us, we rush to kind of, oh gosh, the phone's ringing, quick, let's go get it kind of thing. And I think it's really great to kind of allow yourself to go, okay, the phone's ringing and it's okay for me to leave it and call back shortly. You know, that's a lesson in itself, because when we get into that pattern of the phone's ringing, let's jump, we're bringing kind of anxiety and angst and pressure and intensity to a situation. So maybe try that when your phone rings next time. Just leave it. I mean, obviously, if it's something important and it's emergency, they'll keep ringing. But I know you obviously wouldn't ignore that. But, you know, 90% of the time, it's someone trying to get hold of you. But, you know, it's really good at training yourself to kind of just detach and stay focused on your objective in the moment. So going back, so we have this darkness and then we have the light behind it. So we have the shade and we have the light. We all know the light's there 100%, but we can't quite get to it. And then we'll have a breakthrough, you know, in that journey, and we break through and we absolutely feel the heat of the sun. We feel the radiance, and the whole picture as a whole, with the stillness, the calmness, the light and shade. But then overall, you have that beautiful orange vibrancy of the sun, and the sun will always be there to light our day. The sun and the moon control the earth, and you will never be without light, ever. But you will also, in equal measure, there will be dark. It's a fact of life. You're going to have light and dark. It's part of life. And I think it's embracing both, understanding that there'll be cycles. You'll have highs and you'll have beautiful moments, but then you'll have hard moments, like if you're going through heartbreak like you are now. And that's okay. It's part of life. And as they do pass, whether it's dark or light, they're moments, and they come and they go and they pass. And it's how you see them, how you perceive them, how you embrace them, and how you understand them. And the more time you take to understand yourself, you'll understand these differently. And when you understand them differently, you grow differently, you evolve differently. And you, in my own experience, you instinctively walk the path you're supposed to, on the path, and you end up on the path to your destiny. So it's listening to the messages you receive along the way, seeing it, understanding it, feeling it. And it's an amazing, amazing, amazing journey. And that, because it's amazing, it doesn't mean it's doesn't mean it's an easy journey. It's, you know, it can be a hard journey at times. But you know what? When you have the struggle and you have the hard and you have the difficult, when you look back on it, you go, oh my God, that was amazing. You know, the struggle was amazing. It made me see things differently, and I learned so much. And it's like climbing the mountain. The struggle up the mountain is so hard. You feel tired, you feel exhausted, your legs hurt. You feel like you can't walk another step. It feels so difficult. But then when you reach the mountain and you see the view, oh my gosh, has it been worth the climb? 100%. But also, when you look back down the mountain and you go, oh my gosh, I actually walked that, and I did it, and I suffered, and there was pain, and there was, you know, I didn't think I was going to make it at times, and then I did make it. When you look back down there, you're so appreciative of what you learn on the way, because you learn so much about yourself. So I think it's a balance. It's a balance of all of it. It's all magical. It's all wonderful. It's all amazing. And, you know, if you're in that horrible place of feeling so vulnerable and so alone and wanting to detach and pull the covers over your head and all of those feelings, a huge hug, because I know exactly what that feels like. But at the same time, it will pass. And if you just take some of the tips and tools and techniques that I'm sharing on here, you'll accelerate that, and it won't feel so overwhelming, and it will just ease the heaviness a little bit. So that's it for today. I want to say a huge thank you for coming to my channel. If you like anything you see on here, please, I'd really appreciate a like and a subscribe. And if not, there's millions of other channels out there. Check the channels out, you know, because it's so much is about what resonates with you at the time, and trusting your instinct. So say you come to this channel and you like the way it's presented and you like what I'm saying and you like the story, then go with it, explore. And maybe in 6 months down the line, you may think, actually, do you know what? I've got enough from there now and I want to check something else out. You know, do that, because life is about as many experiences and as much knowledge as possible. And for some of you, nothing on here will resonate. That's okay. You're on a different journey. You know, we're all different. We're here for different reasons. So, you know, don't kind of put pressure on yourself if nothing resonates with you. Just check somewhere else out and go check, you know, other videos. We all have our right to live the life we want and to embrace the things that we want to embrace and drop the things we don't, without pressure. So, okay, that's it for today. Have an amazing day, and remember to light a candle and bring light and energy and life into your day. And that's positive light, positive life, positive energy. And I will see you again soon. Take care.